Welcome children to the next online class of biology for class 10. In the previous classes you learned about the Lamarck's theory. Today's class we will start with the Darwin's theory. You know that the Charles Darwin is known as father of evolution. So let us know about him first. Charles Darwin, at a young age, happened to join a group of naturalists on voyage around the world. While traveling from one island to another, Darwin saw great diversity and he made many interesting observations. Based on these observations, he summarized his conclusions and explained how evolution might have occurred in nature. In 1859, Darwin published his famous book, The Origin of Species, in which he proposed the idea of natural selection. His theory of natural selection or Darwinism is based on certain observable facts. These facts are the overproduction, struggle for existence, variation, survival of the fittest, and natural selection. Let us see in detail one by one. First, overproduction. We know that living beings, both plants and animals, have an innate desire to produce their own progeny so that their race may continue. And it has been observed that more individuals are produced to increase the chances of their survival. For example, let's say oyster. It lays around 60 to 80 million eggs in a single spawn. If all the eggs hatch, the young ones survive. After a few generations, you know what will happen? Their shells would be about the size of the earth. In the same way, paramecium, elephant, dog, all of them, they always produce more number of individuals. Why? So that the chances of survival will be more. However, regardless of the rate of reproduction of a species under natural conditions, the number of individuals of each species remains roughly constant over a long period of time. Now, according to Darwin, individuals multiply in a geometric ratio whereas space and food remains almost constant. This leads to the struggle for existence. In this struggle, there is intense competition between the organisms for favorable shelter, climate, food supply, and breeding places. The competition may be between the members of the same species, which is known as intraspecific, or the competition may be between the members of the different species, called as interspecific. Now, the struggle for existence among the organisms has compelled them to adapt themselves according to the conditions so that they can utilize the natural resources and can survive successfully. Because of the adaptations, it is difficult to find any of the two individuals alike. You must have seen that even the children of the same parent are not exactly alike in all respects. Such differences are known as variation. Now, these variations may be harmful or advantageous. On the other hand, individuals possessing the advantageous variations will be more successful in the struggle for existence. During the struggle for existence, only those individuals can survive which have advantageous adaptations or variations. The individuals or races without these variations will be rooted out. Nature selects only those variations which are suitable. This is what Darwin termed as natural selection. As the environment changes, new advantages get selected in nature, and after many generations, sufficient characters would alter so as to change the species into a new one. This explains how the new species originate. Thus, the origin of new species by gradual modifications is called as speciation. We can take the example of a natural selection provided by the pepper moth Biston betullaria. This moth was light-colored wing dotted with spots blended well with the lichens growing on the houses and tree trunk on which it rested. But there was also another variety which had darker wings. As you can see in the first picture, this dark variety was rare in 1850 in Manchester area because it was eaten up by birds, being easily visible to them due to its black wing. Whereas the light colored moth was seen in large number as it was well concealed while resting on the houses and tree trunks. This was the condition before the Industrial Revolution. So the light one's population was more and the dark one's population was less because of these adaptive features. But after Industrial Revolution, the entire situation changed. The pollution in this area caused the death of lichens and darkening of the tree trunks which shoot. Now the dark variety was better hidden in this area and was not easily picked by the birds. As you can see in the next picture, the natural selection acted through the agency of the birds and light-colored moth easily became the prey. So the dark variety of moth survived better, left more offsprings and almost nearly replaced the light form. This phenomena has been called as industrial melanism. Okay, hope you have understood this. How the industrial melanism led to the microevolution. So thus, the Darwin was however unable to explain the sources of the variations. But modern genetics has revealed the sources of variation and Darwin's original theory of natural selection was modified and this new theory was termed as Neo-Darwinism. Okay, that's all for today's class. Thank you, children.